Hey Women and Girls Foundation Facebook fam, I am Heather Hobson. I am the founder of Motormouth Multimedia and Single Mom Defined, and we're here at Femisphere Codeswitch, which is the hackathon. About 30 coders are teaming up with 30 single mothers to come up with an app to help better navigate single parenting. Let's listen in.
When it comes to talking about families, organizations, and just single moms trying to get resources, we see that sometimes there's a lack of dignity and respect when it comes to servicing single moms or clients. So one of the things we brought up is that single doesn't mean you're stupid. So it means that when you're going to those organizations saying that I need help, so we say, how do we respond to being treated unfairly by organizations and or persons? How do we identify and start trainings on inclusion, diversity, sensitivity, and equity when it comes to asking for those resources or going to those organizations so there's a better understanding of what it means to be a single mom? And our other big overlining theme is, can we overcome poverty if there isn't help in reaching a higher level of self-sufficiency? So it's kind of like Section 8, the Housing Authority, food stamps, WIC. It's kind of like they want to keep you in that system rather than breaking the cycle. So how do we break that cycle? How do we have first-time homeowner programs? How do we make sure that families aren't living paycheck to paycheck, but they're also financially responsible and able to save money? But also, how do they get out of some of those barriers or some of those triangles that they're in? So that was some of the questions. So self-sufficiency, and then the lack of respect, and then last one, the dependence. How do we determine a credible dependent? We come to find out that sometimes single moms have other than children on their plate. They're taking care of an older relative, they're taking care of an aunt, a mom, a veteran that just came back from war. So how do we try to figure out where we put the money and the resources to make sure that they're also being able to take care of their entire family?
Excellent, thank you. Thank you so much. So if you're interested in working on some of the challenges that were brought up here, please keep that in mind. Does anybody else would like to share research questions really quickly?
And a big issue was transportation and childcare. We'll see if that comes up in this next group. Maybe project.
Okay, so what we discussed at our table, Jasmine brought up a good situation. Like, I live in a city. I live on a hill, uptown section of the Hill District. I have transportation forever to the bus line, but it's not accessible for everyone, especially if you live in the suburbs or even other neighborhoods in the city. Transportation is a problem. If you're a single mom, I'm recently widowed as of October 2nd. I don't drive. I work 2 jobs. I don't have time to go to the grocery store. I'm fortunate enough that I have adult daughters that help me out, but only so much because they have their lives. But that can be anything for resources. If you don't know about a diaper bank, if you do know about it, you can't get to it. We live, and Rochelle definitely knows this because of her work, Allegheny County has a high number of food insecure homes and communities. But some people can't get to the grocery store. Some people aren't grocery stores in every neighborhood. We don't have a grocery store right now in the Hill District. Homewood doesn't have a grocery store. So you have to travel outside of your neighborhood to go to a grocery store. You shouldn't have to do that. But you work all day and you might not have bus fares, so you might have to go to the Family Dollar or the corner store where the food is unhealthy and expensive as well. Every neighborhood doesn't have a farmer's market. So you have to travel to another neighborhood after work with 3 and 4 children in tow. So Jasmine brought up something like an issue, a solution to help with transportation, connecting resources like, okay, this person can take you to the grocery store or to the food bank or to a diaper bank. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I think I can add something to that. So basically it was like a platform where moms could get help with basic things that we do every day. That means if you need help getting your lawn mowed, if you need a ride to the doctor's office, basically just so we can be creating a community that we can look to each other when we need help. Because sometimes it's short notice. So that's a lot of us, like, you don't have notice when your child's sick and you need to go to work. So if you can go to the app and say, hey, my friend Karen, who, we have met through this community, is available, maybe I can ask her. It says that she's available, and then that solves your problem with someone who's trusted. Because I know there's a lot of platforms where you can get childcare, you can get different things, but you don't know them. And as a single mom, I'm not sending my kids with someone I don't know, or I'm not like reaching out to someone I don't know. So I feel like as a single mom, creating a community, a sense of trusted people that you can reach out to when needed, helps with those problems that we face every day.
Excellent, that was very good. So maybe one of the questions would be, how might we provide on-demand transportation that we trust?
Yeah, ongoing set of resources for moms that are trusted.
Fantastic, yeah. Does anyone else have any other how might we statements?
So what I'm thinking is, what we actually just came up with this as everybody was talking, how do we find adequate education for our children? So my children, they don't attend Pittsburgh public schools, but they were at one point, but I just actually pulled my daughter, who's 6, out of Pittsburgh public school. She was attending Fulton, just because I felt as though she wasn't getting the adequate education that she needed. My oldest daughter, who's 18, she attends the Ellis School for Girls. But I made this decision for my children to attend private schools, and even though I'm at the poverty guidelines, but I work 3-4 jobs to make sure that my children have an adequate education. Being that Pittsburgh public schools are not providing that for our children, there was a report that just was let out about how a lot of our African American children are actually reading below grade level. And it's just horrendous. And how can we figure out a way that, a lot of parents here are single, we have to take off of work to attend these meetings and call the teachers and do this to make sure that our children are on top of everything. Can we include something in the app where we have maybe a surrogate mother who can go and attend these meetings and speak on behalf of our children, for the times that we can't be there, so we're not missing work and being at risk of losing our jobs that we need to take care of our children to avoid from going back on welfare or whatever the case may be. And not that there's anything wrong with welfare, it's just that we want something more. We do, we want something more. We want to be able to purchase a house, as everybody else was saying. We want more for our children, but we can't give them that if they're not having a good education. We don't want to be sitting at work worried that our children aren't learning everything that they need to learn, and they're coming home from school and they can't even do their homework, and we're up late at night trying to help them do their math or their reading, and we still have to get up at 5:30 in the morning and get ready for work. And some of us are students too. So I'm up all night helping my children with their homework because the teachers
So
don't have
this
enough
is
time
going to
get
go
things
on
done.
until about
Or for the
4:30.
family
We'll
work.
continue to
And
make
it's not
posts
fair.
on
So
the
I-
Facebook page. But if you want to support the event, you can come here to Nova Place, because there's going to be a launch party. So a happy hour where you can come and meet the moms, you can meet the developers, you can connect with the different partner organizations, to see maybe you have an idea that's not necessarily for the app, but something that can be of a support. Make sure that you go to the Women and Girls Foundation website, check out Femisphere, read all about it, and come to the launch party. We'll keep checking in with you guys. Bye.